Well, good morning there, Mr. Gray. How are you this fine and lovely morning? Hey, did you know, Mr. Gray? It's Father's Day 2023, and I'll bet you're a father too. So while I'm here, I'll just wish you too a happy Father's Day, old guy. You know Papa loves you, my faithful backyard, front yard, side yard companion. You're always with Papa, aren't you? And hey, you're protecting the Troy-Bilt. Couldn't ask for no better than that. Yep. I bet old Mr. Gray is a papa, a daddy, a father, or a papo too. Yeah, there's all kinds of words for it, and all kinds of ways to say it. Well, hello there, friends and family. Pardon my appearance on this Father's Day 2023. Yeah, and as you can see, it's highly overcast, and we're out early. You'll be able to hear the birds chirping up ahead. The kitties are all fed and watered. And since all of y'all stopped by and parked along the streets, hey, and came on down, appreciate y'all stopping by to visit us here in our little piece of paradise in the deep south of Alabama on Father's Day 2023. And with that, I'd like to wish all the dads, the daddies, the fathers, the papas, the papos, pappies, and what have you, a happy Father's Day today too. Yeah. I do hope you're able to spend it with your friends, family, and loved ones too, wherever you may be in this big old wide world of ours. Yeah, but hey, since we're out and about, Spooky's already checking the crops, well, sort of, kinda. Saw Mr. Gray, he's up on the Troy-Bilt making sure it don't go nowhere, or nobody comes by and gets it. Maybe another way of looking at it. But yesterday, which was Saturday, yep, June the 17th. We were awful busy. And it all started with needing one thing. Or starting one project, which led to many more. So hey, come on, walk with me. And let me show you just what yesterday all came to be. Here, in deep south of Alabama. Yes, friends and family, it all started over here, beside the driveway. At the south side driveway bed, as we call it. Yeah, those are my two lovely kale plants in their pots. But you'll notice, we started cleaning this out yesterday. Taking down all the old tomato plants, bean plants, weeds, collards that went to seed. Getting all the dirt scratched up, scratched up. Kitty's help there. Taking down all the old twine. And that led to starting to plant. And then right here we stuck in those cucumber transplants that we took out of the compost pile that had been waiting since sometimes mid to late March to get put in the ground, but because of weather and circumstance they never did. Well, they looked pretty ratty, all except two, but I thought, hey, they survived too, so why not give them a chance? If they don't grow, we got more seed, we can start over. And as you know, we already got two other cucumber plants. I just couldn't let these be. They had struggled and survived, just like I had, since the freak accident of mine. So hey, we'll all come along for the ride. So yeah, and you might say, well, how did that lead to what went on or transpired all day yesterday? Well, you see right here, and you see over there, that's where I had some beans last year. Not much, but some, mainly for seed. But I thought, hey, we put some more right here. But we're missing something. And what was that we were missing? Some more poles. So I thought, yep, I know where there's plenty. And we'll put them in right now. That was my thought yesterday, before we get everything cleaned up for the day. And it was only about 10 o'clock. There was plenty of day left, even though there's supposed to be intermittent showers yesterday, which never materialized. But you can see before we leave, I kept these three old scraggly collard plants. They've never went to seed. I thought, why not? We'll keep them water, give them a little fertilizer, and see if we can get them through the summer. into the fall too. How long can a collard plant live? I don't know. Do you? But anyway, this little project, the cleaning of the bed, the planting of the cucumbers, and the wanting to put more beans in this bed, led to the need of some more bean poles, which I slap out of long ones. And that's where the next part of yesterday all began. Yeah, we had to get some tools, and we had to go to another part of our land. And that's where we're going now. Yeah, all for some poles, as you will see. Oh, things are looking good though. Cucumbers starting to climb. We got a nice little climbing net weaved up early this morning here. So these now look a little ratted right now, but as soon as they straighten up and start climbing up the web, they'll be doing just fine. But that's not what I'm here to show you. Yeah, you can see it up here near the fence line. And we're up, not quite, but getting closer to the northeast end of the property. And the northeast end of the bamboo forest. Now there were two problems once I got up here and looking about. One was you can see right up here. Yep, we had vines, possum grapes, and other vines growing up the power pole, getting on the phone lines, the cable line, the power lines. And that's not all good. And they were coming from my property. So that makes it my responsibility. So yeah, I thought, well, it won't take long. And I got to get in to there to get where I knew was a lot of old, knocked down bamboo cane poles that I could still use. So it all started with the need of a bamboo pole, which led me to cutting down this. You see? Pretty good sized little oaks with a whole lot more just to get an entranceway into the bamboo forest to get those poles. Yep. And we made our way in, as you can see. Watch your step right here. We got a transition down from one bank down into the gully. Yep. And then up another bank. We'll use the bamboo to steady us. And hey, we're not gonna fall. We're being very, very careful. But now you can see all through there, all this dead cane. Some still usable, some just so rotten that it just breaks up. You just put a little bit of weight on it and it just crunches. It's just nothing more than mulch at this point. But there are some that we can still use, but we had to cut everything away to get to it, as you can see. And since I was up here, I thought, well, we'd get rid of that other problem too. All those vines, which are now laying on the ground all chopped up, away from our power pole, which we did for the most part. Yep, some of them have yet to die. And they're possum grapes. Oh, American greenbrier, primarily. You can see one big old possum grape right here. We're gonna carve on it some more if the rain stays away a while. You can see how dark it is, because there's a bunch of trees here too. Oaks, hackberries. We got like a mini forest growing where the bamboo forest once stood and flourished. All because of one incident. No, I won't get into all that, but the bamboo forest was killed not by me, but by another individual that worked for the city quite some time ago. Yep, not sure whether it was meant to be or just an accident, but I know it would be the end for quite some time of the bamboo forest, and it would lead to it becoming overgrown with all other kinds of native and invasive species. But we're back in here, and we got us some poles. You can see them right here. Yeah, they've got a few years on them, but they're big ones. And they'll last me for a few years. 3, 4, maybe 5. Yep. I can get a lot of good use out of them, and the beans will love them. See, your beans love a little bit bigger pole. It gives them a relaxing wind. Yeah, I've seen people, they use cattle panels. They use fence, and I have too. Not cattle panels, they're too expensive. But I've used fence like this welded wire fence to let them climb up. But I have noticed a reduced harvest because the vines tend to wrap extremely tight. I think maybe that's why our great-grands and great-great-grands and what have you called them pole beans. Not fence beans and not cattle panel beans, but pole beans. Anyway, it's sort of funny. If you want to raise them on fence or cattle panels or what have you, go right ahead. Like I always say, you do you and I'll do me, and we'll all be happy. But yeah, this is what happened. So I got the pole cleared out, but you know, I just couldn't stop there. You know, by then it was only about noon, and this was rather shady and somewhat cool. So I just continued on northwards along the old fence line. Yep, cutting away. And very carefully, I might say. Now you can hear underneath my feet all this here bamboo breaking. And you might think, well, that's a lot of stobs. Oh yes, it is. But I got myself supported by both feet and my hand. Yeah, now I am toting y'all, which I must admit puts a whole nother aspect to it. You know, several thousand of y'all are pretty heavy. But nothing happened. And that's what I'm thinking. You know, I didn't get in a hurry. I didn't, you know, throw caution to the wind. I just very carefully cut things down, planted my feet, supported my body, and continued on. Because see, it needs to get done. And I got me, myself, himself, I, just say I already. That's all I got. Yeah, many have offered, and I do appreciate it. But hey, they got lives too. And something about it. I've always been an independent individual. Yeah, I take care of my responsibilities. And I try to do it without bothering anybody. Now, that don't mean at times I won't reach out and ask for help, or I'll pay for it. Yeah, and I'd rather pay. See, when you ask friends to help, and they do, you can bet there's going to be repercussions. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, and you can be the helper all the time, and there can still be repercussions from all of that. So yeah, as much as I can do by myself, I'm going to do. And don't worry, I'll be careful. Always have been, until I took that nasty fall, and that's made it even more prevalent and me more cautious. You might think standing up here in all this mess, well, you ain't being cautious at all, Mr. Tom. You're risking your life, and you could possibly cause your death. Yeah, well, all of life has its dangers. It truly does. And Lord knows, I've been in far more dangerous places in my lifetime than the bamboo forest. And somehow, God willing, and I give all credit to Him, I've always made it through. But yeah, it's got to get done. I want my bamboo forest back. And you can see there's new canes in here. You can see them right there in front of you. Plenty of green canes starting to grow back up because they can see the sunlight. Yeah, as the older canes finally fell to the forest floor. All of this was standing up as the years went by. It's just been here the last year or two. It's finally decayed to the point where it would all come crashing down on the forest floor. And that allowed more light to get in and new bamboo to sprout and find the light and grow to the sky. And I'm hoping one day to sit in here again and relax. Put a table and chairs and relax with all of you over maybe some tea or some electrolytes too. It was always cool, and always you had the birds and that little wisping sound when the breeze moves the bamboo leaves. Whew, if you can ever go to a bamboo forest and sit inside it when there's a little bit of a breeze or wind, oh, there ain't no other sound more relaxing than that. Trust me, there's not. But yeah, we got to here and we couldn't just stop. Yep, found some poles. But then I knew there was something that bothered me. And of course it bothers the bus, bothers other people. And that was right up here. Of course you can probably see through there, the cemetery. And the road, yep, we're approaching the far north property line. So let's head on up there, just like we did yesterday. Complete with tools in our hands. But here again, you can see, you take one hand and you support yourself and you weave yourself through. You got 3 points of contact. They teach that to you to keep from falling. Let's see, somebody, just since yesterday, when I picked up all the garbage, somebody's came by on foot or car and thrown out their old lighter right there, because that wasn't there yesterday. I came up here with 2 trash bags and picked up garbage along this highway. And that's sad. I didn't throw it out, other people did. But you can see now, there's a berm here. See, all of this, oak tree limbs, Chinese privet, American greenbrier, Virginia creeper, all kinds of wild cherry down in there. You can see the Virginia creeper right there. Of course, you can also see something else that I never used to have, poison ivy. Yep, and that's another thing to let you know. Poison ivy, it flowers and puts on berries too, just like the Virginia creeper. And the birds can eat the poison ivy berries with no ill effects. Imagine that. You see, just because a bird eats something, definitely remember, humans may or may not. The settlers learned that lesson the hard way. So did the colonists. How did they? By dying or getting deathly ill. But yeah, you can see, we broke through the bamboo forest up here, and I thought, well, okay, we got to head to the house anyway. We'll just trim all this down. And we continued on. And you can see the pile there left behind. Yeah, with just hand trimmers, our reciprocating Black & Decker saw and loppers, we made her all down to right here. Well, I wanted to finish the side of the road. I hadn't run out of gas, but I will tell you, I was approaching E for empty. But my battery died. I was on the 3rd one, the last one that I had charged. So whether thankfully or not, I didn't give up. But my battery supply did. And I'm thinking it was a good thing. Because whoo, by this time, I could feel every muscle in my body. Yeah, I wasn't whooped, but I was close to it. I was almost having to think about opening that last can. You know, the whoop ass. But I didn't need to. I made it down to the front porch. Got inside, mixed me up some of that there Propel electrolytes. From the fine folks at Gatorade, by the way, in case you're ever wanting to partake of it. Sat down on the front porch with some ice cold Propel, replenish my electrolytes, and sit with the kitty crew, which were all at my feet, giving them out some treats. Of course, they were at my feet. Well, I finally got my old bud up and got them their treats. But you can see, got a ways here to go. But when you look, I probably got 3/4 of it done and a quarter left. And here again, it gets all back. Do you see all these berries starting to form and to plump up? Yeah, this is a Chinese privet. And the more I get down, the less the birds have to eat and the less they can propagate it on my place here in the deep south. Yep, we're gonna make it to here. It's not gonna be today, because today we're not gonna do much. Pretty much just a video and chat and walk with all of y'all. Yep, and then probably cook up something and have a relaxing day. Once the rain comes, which won't be long, and you can all see here, look at all my pretty yellow, yeah, false dandelions. They're all along this northern slope. They're looking beautiful. Yeah, but once it dries up a bit, sometime in the near future, which apparently is not going to be for a while, they'll come down again, but they'll come back too. Yep, and you can see they're popping up all through the yard. Yeah, I definitely love them too. Just a little color all through the summer months. Yeah, if you let your grass grow a little higher than normal. Oh, did I tell you? The Latanya made a comeback. And the butterflies and the hummingbirds are now as happy as can be. Look at them. They're just beautiful, aren't they? We got pinks, violets, yellows, oranges. Woo! I just love the blossoms and the smell. But I'm thinking, I've been sneezing a lot and snuffling. I'm thinking maybe my nose and sinuses don't love it as much as the birds. Ooh, look at that there spider right there. Can you see him? Wow. Oh, here's a roly-poly up here. And guess what he's doing? He's eating the little young flower buds. Hey, did you know roly-polies are not insects, but crustaceans? Yeah. They're the only, I think, land-based crustacean there is. I could be wrong about that, but I know they're crustacean. So literally, this is seafood. Uh-oh. See, they balled right up. And they ball up tight like that, they're a roly-poly. If they only sort of fold in half, I forget what they're called, but they're not roly-poly. They just look kind of close to a roly-poly. Anyway, a little fun fact there. For the kids and the grandkids, and the youngins too. So that's what we're up to on this old Father's Day. Not much. We made a net for the cucumbers to climb to the sky. And we took a walkabout with all of you on this, a Father's special day. So y'all, as you can hear, other fathers are cranking up the mowers, weed whackers, and what have you. Hey, that's because they probably work 6 days a week. And today they got it off. And they got to get her done too. And I got to get her done. There's still things to do. But I'm thinking most of this day I'm going to enjoy with me and the kitty crew. So hey, until the kitty crew, you know them all. Cleo, Spooky, Speedy, old Mr. Gray, sometimes Heathcliff, and little Gracie too. See you on that next video. Y'all take care, stay safe, and God bless you as you bust those in your lives. And for you fathers, I hope this finds you well, safe, and happy with your friends and family and loved ones. celebrating your special day of 2023. It's a good day to be a daddy and to be alive. And with that, we're going to head on in and maybe get a little bit to drink and see what's on the YouTube later on. And Spooky, don't be despondent. I'm sorry, bro. You never got to be a father. Yeah, such is the life. You have to go talk to Mr. Gray, see what it's all about. Yeah, being a father's special. Not because you helped birth a child, but because you raised a child. It takes a lot of work to be a daddy and a father too.